Hello everyone, welcome back to our annual deep dive into the upcoming winter season. It's that time of year again, when the days grow shorter, the nights get longer, and a chill settles in the air. The air is getting crisper, and as we bundle up in our scarves and coats, we're all wondering, what will this winter bring? Will we see gentle flurries or wild blizzards? Will it be a season for snowmen and sledding, or will it pass quietly with only a dusting here and there? Will it be a snowy wonderland blanketing our towns in white, or a mild, quiet season where winter seems to tiptoe by? The good news is, science gives us a solid preview. Thanks to decades of research and ever-improving technology, we can look ahead with more confidence than ever before. We analyze ocean and atmospheric patterns, like the shifting currents of the Pacific and the swirling winds above the Arctic, to forecast the months ahead. These clues help us piece together the puzzle of what's coming. This year, the signals point to a classic winter for much of the country. That means more snow, colder temperatures, and the kind of winter scenes we remember from childhood. We're seeing strong indications of a colder, snowier season than recent years. For many, this could mean waking up to fresh snow on the ground more often, and perhaps even a few memorable storms. For snow lovers, this could be your year to dust off the sleds and skis. But it also means preparing for cold snaps, icy roads, and the kind of disruptive storms that can challenge our routines. Our team has been poring over data, from Pacific sea temperatures to Arctic pressure systems, looking for the patterns that shape our winter. Every chart and graph tells a story about what's brewing in the atmosphere. Understanding the winter forecast is about more than just snow days. It's about safety, preparation, and making sure our families and communities are ready for whatever comes our way. It helps families plan for school closures, city crews prepare for snow removal, and all of us make smart decisions to stay safe and warm when the temperature drops. This forecast is our roadmap for the season ahead, guiding us through the twists and turns of winter weather. We'll break down the big drivers behind this year's forecast, go region by region to see who's in for the most action, and give you a timeline for when the first flakes and cold snaps are likely to arrive. By being informed, we can enjoy the beauty of winter, make the most of snowy days, and handle the challenges together as a community. So grab your favorite mug of something warm, settle in, and let's dive into what the winter of 2025 to 2026 has in store for all of us. What's driving our weather this winter? It's a question many are asking as temperatures drop and snow begins to blanket the ground. The biggest player is a strong La Niña, a phenomenon that significantly influences global weather patterns. La Niña is a natural climate pattern in the Pacific Ocean, characterized by cooler-than-average equatorial waters. This cooling effect is not just a local event, it has far-reaching impacts on weather systems around the world. This cooling shifts the jet stream, steering storms and air masses across the U.S., altering the usual weather patterns we expect. During La Niña, the jet stream dips, bringing colder Arctic air into the northern U.S., which can lead to more frequent and intense cold spells. That's why we're forecasting a colder-than-average winter for the Northeast and Midwest, with more snow and ice than usual. The Pacific Northwest and Ohio Valley will be wetter and stormier, experiencing more rain and potential flooding. Meanwhile, the South stays warmer and drier, offering a stark contrast to the chillier North. La Niña sets the stage for the entire winter, influencing not just temperatures but also precipitation patterns. Another key player is the polar vortex, a swirling mass of cold air over the North Pole that can dramatically affect our weather. Usually the jet stream keeps it locked up, but sometimes it weakens and sends frigid air south, leading to sudden cold snaps. This year, La Niña increases the chance of polar vortex disruptions, making it more likely for these cold air masses to break free. That means a higher risk of one or two major Arctic blasts, especially in January and February, which could bring severe winter weather. These events can bring dangerously low wind chills, making it feel much colder than the actual temperature. We'll be watching for these cold snaps all season as they can have significant impacts on daily life and safety. It's the difference between a normal cold day and a dangerously cold one, where precautions are necessary to stay safe. Stay tuned as we track these patterns, providing updates and forecasts to help you prepare for whatever winter has in store. Let's take a moment to look back at last winter, a season that felt unusually mild for many of us. Across neighborhoods, lawns and streets stayed mostly clear, and city parks were dotted with bare trees, with little or no snow to be found. It was a winter that seemed to tiptoe by, leaving only a faint trace of its presence. This mildness was no accident. It was largely due to a weak El Niño, a climate pattern that kept the jet stream locked far to the north. As a result, the coldest air stayed bottled up in Canada, rarely spilling southward into the United States. For many it meant fewer snow days, less shoveling, and a break from the usual winter chill. But this year, everything changes. A strong La Niña is now in play, flipping the script entirely and setting the stage for a very different winter experience. With La Niña's influence, we can expect a colder, Arctic-dominated pattern. There will be more frequent intrusions of frigid air, and the storm track will be much more active, bringing a steady parade of winter weather systems across the country. For the northern states, this means a return to below-average temperatures. Think of the classic winters from years past with icy winds and persistent cold. The most noticeable change will be in snowfall. Regions that barely saw a dusting last year should now prepare for above-average snow, with accumulations piling up on streets, cars, and rooftops. The Great Lakes, the interior Northeast, and the Northern Rockies are all in line for a much snowier season, with frequent storms transforming landscapes into winter wonderlands. Major winter storms, including blizzards and dangerous ice events, are more likely this year, especially where cold air collides with moisture-laden systems. These storms can bring hazardous travel, power outages, and challenging conditions for days at a time. So don't base your plans on last winter's mildness. This year is shaping up to be a complete turnaround, with a much more dynamic and challenging season ahead. While the South will likely remain drier, the North should brace for more frequent storms, heavier snow, and colder temperatures. The contrast between regions will be stark. Being aware of this dramatic shift is the first step in getting ready. Now is the time to prepare. Check your emergency kits, stay updated with weather forecasts, and make sure your home is winter ready. The quiet, uneventful winter is behind us. Ahead lies a season full of energy, with the potential for both beauty and disruption as snow and storms return in force. Get ready for a winter that will feel very different from last year, one that brings back the excitement, challenges, and traditions of a true winter season. So, let's prepare ourselves and our communities for what's coming. Winter is about to make a memorable return. Northeast residents, from Maine to Pennsylvania, get ready for a real winter. The forecast calls for colder, snowier conditions and a storm track primed for nor'easters. Expect several major storms, especially from January through March. Cities like Boston, New York, and Philadelphia should see more snow and at least one or two big storms. Persistent cold means snow will stick around, especially in interior New England and upstate New York. This year's cold supports more all-snow events, reducing rain-snow mix frustrations. Nor'easters bring heavy snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding risks. Inland, heavy snow and wind can cause power outages. Have your emergency kits ready. The Northeast should prepare for a classic, active winter with more snow, colder days, and high-impact storms. Midwest, from the Dakotas to Ohio, brace for classic winter weather. Frequent blasts of Arctic air will keep temperatures below average, especially in the upper Midwest. Wind chills will be a major story with dangerously cold nights. The storm track will be active, bringing above-average snowfall, especially across the Great Lakes. Expect numerous Alberta clippers and significant lake-effect snow for cities like Buffalo and Cleveland. The main hazards: extreme cold and disruptive snow. Polar vortex disruptions could bring prolonged, life-threatening cold. Snow and wind will create hazardous travel and frequent whiteouts. This winter will test the Midwest's toughness. Great for winter sports, but preparation is essential. Keep your furnace serviced, supplies stocked, and car winter ready. Don't be caught off guard. This will be a memorable season. For the South and West, it's a tale of two extremes driven by La Niña. The South, from Texas to Florida, will be warmer and drier, raising drought concerns. But sharp Arctic outbreaks can still bring sudden freezes and dangerous ice storms. Out west, the Pacific Northwest will be colder and wetter with heavy rain and mountain snow. This benefits ski resorts and water supplies but increases flood and landslide risks. The Southwest, including California, will be warmer and much drier, worsening drought and wildfire risks. The Northwest gets drenched while the Southwest stays dry. It's a stark contrast across the region. When does it all begin? Here's the timeline. First snowfalls arrive in late November and early December for the Rockies and interior Northeast. The upper Midwest could see snow by early December. Major East Coast cities may wait until after New Year's. January and February are the heart of winter. Expect the strongest storms and coldest air. This is prime time for nor'easters and Midwest blizzards. March can still bring big storms, especially in the Northeast. By late March and April, milder air returns and the thaw begins. Use this outlook to plan ahead and stay prepared. We'll keep you updated as the season unfolds. Weather patterns don't stop at the border. Let's look at Canada and Europe. Canada faces a cold, snowy winter, especially in British Columbia, Alberta, and the prairies. Ontario and Quebec will see frequent snow and cold, with active storm tracks. Eastern Canada is at risk for powerful coastal storms. In Europe, La Nina's influence is less direct, but a disrupted polar vortex could send Siberian cold west. Northern Europe, including the UK and Scandinavia, is likely to be colder and stormier. Southern Europe, especially the Mediterranean, will be milder and drier, raising concerns for mountain snow and water supplies. Expect a colder north and a milder south across Europe. The large-scale pattern sets the stage for both continents. Now that you know what's coming, here's how to prepare. Have your furnace inspected and check insulation around windows and doors. Prepare emergency kits for home and car. Include flashlights, food, water, blankets, and a phone charger. For your car, snow brush, ice scraper, jumper cables, shovel, and emergency blanket. Trim tree branches near your house and power lines, and clean gutters to prevent ice dams. Know where your snow shovel and salt are before the first storm. Most importantly, stay informed. Weather changes fast. Download a trusted weather app, listen to local meteorologists, and have a NOAA weather radio. We'll be here all winter, tracking storms and keeping you safe. Stay warm, stay prepared, and let us know what you're hoping for this winter. Have a wonderful, safe, and cozy season.